Okay. For what was shooting me?
Oh, so
walking.
Kuba shoti oveyo.
Major Dr. Daniel Okelo, the Divisional Medical Officer, in charge Medical Services Operation Sujja. Right now where we are, this is our field hospital of Operation Sujja. The current situation, we have got 20 abductees who were rescued 2 months back from Biakato. They were in bad state by then, but currently they are very stable, walking, and really generally in good health right now. So we don't have anybody now currently who is maybe in bad shape, as you've seen previously.
Doctor, what is it that you do in here, especially today?
Our main objectives here, number one, is to save life. And these abductees, 80% of them were brought. They were all injured, firearm injury at the field. And basically we stabilize them by doing operations. Minor, major, we do them right from here. Yeah. And also treat the sick as well. So we handle them equally as we are handling our own soldiers, our colleagues. Yeah. The casualties.
In the field which
the rehabilitation
yes,
part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. When the rehabilitation. Yeah. So that one.
Yeah. Thank you to the distinguished members of the media houses who are here at headquarters of Mountain Division in Mohoti, Fort Portal. You're most welcome and good afternoon. I am Major General Richard Uto, the command of Mountain Division, and also the command of Operation Suza, which is taking place in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Generally, I'm going to give you an overview of what we are doing in Eastern DRC, so that you could understand. And I will not go back up to 2021 because that will be taking us too long. But I will just summarize it. As you are aware, Operation Suza started in November in 2021, exactly about 3 years now. And the purpose of that operation was to ensure that we dislodged the enemy strongholds, which were on the reverse slope of Rwenzori Mountain. And these were areas of Kamyajua and Mwalika, where the ADF had stayed for about 20 years, from which camps they were mainly carrying out atrocities on the population, killing civilians, disrupting businesses, socio-economic activities, and people went to the IDPs, and the two leadership of the DRC and Uganda, His Excellency the President of Uganda and his counterpart, they on bilateral level agreed, and the UPDF and the forces for DRC had to come and militarily start these operations. So the operation started very well, and it was very successful. That was in phase 1. All the enemy camps were destroyed, and the enemy went on the run, taking the direction to the north, going to these areas of Sector 2, and then the other group went to the south in Mwalika Valley. But the first phase of that operation was mainly airstrikes and artillery bombardments. The infantry, the boots were not on the ground. But later, when the troops entered, all the camps of the enemy were destroyed, a number of guns were recovered, and most of the abductees were rescued. So when the enemy started being on the run, we kept on expanding our area of operations. That's how we moved from Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, and Sector 4, where we are standing at the moment. So this brings me to the current situation. What is the situation as of now? In all those 4 sectors, right from Semiliki up to the Boga side. We don't have any rebel groups, apart from one group which recently crossed back from the northern part of Mombasa Commander Road, that is deep into Ituri province. It's a group of about 100 abductees, and when they crossed recently, there was an attack on a trading center in a place called PK 40. This is about 40 kilometers from Mbao, but it's a bit far from our border. And that's the only group that we have. So the troops have liberated only 4 sectors, and the enemy from Semiliki up to the Boga side. We don't have any rebel groups, apart from one group which recently crossed back from the northern part of Mombasa Commander Road, that is deep into Ituri province. It's a group of about 100 abductees, and when they crossed recently, there was an attack on a trading center in a place called PK 40. This is about 40 kilometers from Mbao, but it's a bit far from our border. And that's the only group that we have. So the troops have liberated only 4 sectors, and the enemy has run in 2 directions. One group crossed Commando Mombasa Road, and now they are deep into Ituri province. And then the second group moved to Lubero territory. That is the southern part of Beni city. And they are continuing moving further southwest, heading towards maybe Isopo province. So apparently, only 4 sectors are free. This small group which has come back, we are handling them, and it's a question of time. So there is peace now in areas which have been liberated. Schools have resumed. Markets are operating. People are moving freely, especially there is traffic, and there is peace. So the enemy has been defeated, and I want to make it very clear that we're in charge of the 4 sectors, and generally that's what I want to tell you about what we are doing in Eastern Congo. However, there could be some few challenges, like one, if the enemy is not in 4 sectors, where are they? They have gone far. That calls for us again to follow them, and as we follow them, we expand the areas. We have been in Congo for about 3 years. If the enemy enters in an area where we don't have the joint forces, sometimes they kill the population, and that's bad. Killing civilians who are innocent indiscriminately. And then the other one is the road conditions. Sometimes we get that difficulty when we are moving on the bad roads. And the terrain generally, Congo is full of forest and swamps and rivers. But for the infantry, it's not a big deal. We move, although sometimes we go a bit slow. And then at the border here, the trade is moving on well. The roads which was under rehabilitation, it's going to resume, but that was at strategic level, so that we have increased movements of goods from the border, especially from Uganda to the other side. So generally, this is what I think I could tell you about what we are doing Eastern DRC. Thank you. These 2 rivers, they don't have permanent bridges apart from the ones on Bene, Bunia Road, and from Bundibujo to the other side. But the one of Bundibujo has got some probably bridge. So we used ferries to cross those rivers, and the ferries are operating very well. They are helping transport across the water, moving other logistics, and there is no problem with that. On Abuakast has run away from where we operated. And you remember when I was briefing you, there was a young girl carried by one of my soldiers. That's the daughter of Abuakast. So he's still alive, but he's on the run. And his one was gone very far from where we operated. And he was even the first to take off from this Molika Valley when we started the operations. Maybe being a foreign fighter, he wants to always to be in isolation where he can observe how the operation is taking place. I don't see him, being in the front line fighting the UPDF. and also being a foreign fighter, it could be coordinating certain things at certain level.
This operation since its beginning.
Just like I told you, I'm about 5 months old in numbers, but for the last 5 months that I have been around, the number is about, even yesterday one was rescued, is a Ugandan, and we're expecting him soon. So we rescue them from time to time, especially when we are engaging the enemy.
I find in relation to numbers, if you can also speak to numbers relating to the people that...
Some good job by killing the commanders of the ADF. But